Hey everybody, it's Steve and Annette Economides from MoneySmartFamily.com, and today we're continuing our budget series. We're going to talk to you about an amazing key that makes our budget system one of the most powerful tools we've ever used to get ahead financially.
And it's a little thing, but boy, oh boy, can it transform your life. You know, people quit budgeting for a multitude of reasons.
We've talked to so many of them. They start on a debt reduction plan, they start budgeting.
Circumstances can be hard. You can be hit with unexpected things.
Or they have a system that's way too confusing. And I talked to one guy that had 7 bank accounts set up, and he transferred money out of a main bank account into one of the 7. One was for like car payments, one was for house payment. And it was like, I'm going, oh my gosh, it's so confusing.
Or we also had somebody approach us one time and said they had 40 categories
in their budget.
And there's no way you can reconcile that and maintain that. So our system is easy. We're still using it today.
And what we're going to talk about today is tracking small expenses. Now, each of us carry a checkbook. Now, I know today's millennials, it's okay. Today's millennials and people don't like writing things down, but I've got to tell you, 3 or 4 times a year, we catch errors in our checking account. So first key is we write things down, and it's really cool. This little piece of paper, they're free at the bank. We write down every expense. Now, sometimes when we're checking out, we stand there at the checkout and inconvenience people behind us for about 30 seconds while we write the things down.
Or we'll just step off to the side when it's done.
Because tracking it this way catches mistakes. And then the second thing we do, every expense comes out of a specific budget account. But basically, every expense gets a 2-letter or a 3-letter code. For instance, if we go to a clothing store and we buy some clothes, it gets CL next to it. Or if we buy food, it's FD. Every expense gets marked with a code, and then those codes get transferred once every 2 weeks. We take our individual account sheet, we call it a stewardship sheet, and this is our auto page, and we record the expenses from the checkbook, the main checkbook that Annette carries, and put it on the page. Now, I carry what we call a satellite checkbook, and that basically has no total, and I just write down what I spend.
And the way that started was because in the early days of our marriage, you would go to work and stay at that same place all day long, and I would be running around, running the errands, running the household, getting the shopping done, and I did most of the spending.
So once every 2 weeks, we transfer what I've spent into the master checkbook. We put codes on everything, and then we take everything from the clothing account and we write it down on the clothing page. We take everything from the auto account and write it on the auto page. And we reconcile it. And I know this sounds tedious, but it works because we know exactly how much money we have to spend. Twice a month we reconcile. It takes about 2 hours to do. What is in our checkbook equals the total of all of the 19 accounts we have in our budget category. And so if we want to go out to dinner,
all we have to do is check the recreation account. If there's money, we can go out to dinner. You know, we've been getting some emails, and one gal who's been wrestling through setting up the budget said, you know, it really does take a little bit more time than I thought. And I said, you know, it's like a toddler learning to brush their teeth. It takes utmost concentration at first. But now, even though Steve says it takes 2 hours twice a month, if I do it by myself, I do it in less time.
If I do it, I transpose numbers because of dyslexia. It takes a little longer. But we still get it done. It balances. It gives us knowledge that we can go out and spend and relax and have a good time, or we can reach our financial goals.
It decreases the emergencies too, because you're accruing money ahead of expenses.
The key to budget success is in the
tracking.
Register. I'm telling you, this is the key.
It takes 10 seconds more whenever you're at a store. 10 seconds. You can do 10 seconds.
And it's not subject to data breaches. It's secure. It is.
That's true. Okay.